Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Start Select by GameSpot UK. Now there may be no new games to play at the moment, but that doesn't mean that we can't bring you plenty of good stuff for the rest of the year. In this episode we're going to be bringing you first looks at Street Fighter 4 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and Flower, a new downloadable title for the PlayStation Network. But first, Luke Anderson's going to go and head off and talk to the guys at Ubisoft about their upcoming flight sim HAWX.
Take cover! We're pinned down. Enemy armor bearing 320. Request the alert 5.
Captain Mitchell, this is Jester. FAC's got us on a north-south line. Weapons released in 2 seconds.
Roger that. She's lit up for you.
Acknowledged. Tally target 12 o'clock. Rifle 1, Rifle 1.
You nailed it! Nice work!
So my name is Thomas Simon. I'm HAWX lead game designer. Modern combat today is selecting a target at 60 km, pressing a button and wait, and then it's destroyed. We wanted to, for the sake of the gameplay, bring the dogfight and the gameplay closer. So our idea is that with the development of better countermeasure technologies, better dodging capacity, stealth as well, of course, the dogfight will have to get closer. You can't really shoot so far. You have to see the target and engage it. And that's what we do with HAWX. And dogfight is at the core of the gameplay, but it's not the only gameplay we have. It's like a red line that will ramp up throughout the campaign with a very organic AI that will really improve and do new tricks and force you to push more and more your skills. But we have all types of missions in the campaign, from infiltration to close air support, air supremacy, escort, etc. The whole campaign is actually cooperative. Sometimes you just play alone. That's the idea. So if you leave the session open when you play, at any time a friend can join, if you're okay with that, and play with you. The difficulty of the mission, or the intensity of the mission, I'd say, will adapt to the number of players. It will change the experience actually. Playing at two means you're going to have to collaborate with the other player. You can't just destroy whatever you want. You have to pick up the target and, let's say, split the work. It's really jump in, jump out, so you can join, leave at any time. All the action you do will reward you in terms of experience points. So it's really, there is nothing to lose in playing co-op. It's totally free. And it's a real different experience. So you can play the whole campaign alone, then allow people to join you when you play it the second time, and play the entire campaign with at 4, actually. The voice command is one of the elements that link us to End War in a way. This is just a technological feature, but we developed it with their help also. We have a different approach because we are more into the instant and the action. So we tuned it in a way that it's useful when you pilot. So it allows you to switch target, switch weapon, just with a simple word, to give order to your wingman. You still have to pilot with the flight stick, obviously, but all the other commands are available. You can shoot, you can use the ERS, going on, going off. You can use it at will, actually. If you don't want to use it, you're not forced to. It doesn't block the experience, but if you use it, it's a different way of playing. And it can even become a very interesting tool if you play in team deathmatch, because it allows you to choose some of the order you will just give with your voice and keep your hand for the rest, making you more efficient. Actually, the first mission of the game, you play in Mexico and you replay a Grow 2 mission with the airstrike, when the ghosts are stuck on the marketplace in Ciudad Juarez. This mission will give you the possibility to replay it from the air. So with a different perspective, and actually a larger perspective. You will see the big picture around what happens, not only this specific sequence. It starts with you making a combat patrol over the US border, when you get the clear order of the Pentagon to cross the border and strike the rebel forces that have been probing the US border. And while you do that, you get the emergency alert that some US special elite forces are blocked there. And you go and you provide, and you start talking and interacting with them, and you manage to escort them to safety. You don't need to know Grow to play HAWX, for sure, but if you know HAWX, you know Grow and you play HAWX, you will really get that extra layer of feedback. The game is going to be released in QA 2009 for X360, PS3 and PC.
Is under heavy attack. Reaper flight, engage the bandits ASAP. Enemy forces are hitting the refinery.
Sometimes we're lucky enough to be sent games ahead of release, and we've got a couple here, a couple that we really like, or I really like anyway. I don't know about Luke, we'll find that out. First one we got is Flower. It's coming out on the PlayStation Network later in 2009. We don't really know a release date yet, or a price, but we think it's going to be a PlayStation Network title. And it's a game that's really difficult to describe. So should we just jump right in and try and kind of run through what it's about? So I saw this game out in E3 in 2008, E3 2008. I'd seen a very strange, ethereal video of it at Sony's offices before that. But it's a game that's pretty much impossible to describe. It's by That Game Company, the guys that did Flow on the PlayStation Network. They're based in Santa Monica. And obviously something about that sea air out in Santa Monica gives them ideas for kind of crazy, off-the-wall ideas that I haven't really seen before. In this, you're effectively driving a petal. We didn't see the menu screen, we can go back to it later. You start off with one flower, and it seems to me, it's not very obvious about what it's about, but it seems like you're a flower who's having these regressed memories that are coming back, and you're in this field, so you start out as a flower.
It's under hypnotherapy or something like that.
Yeah, and then so the general idea is, you guide this petal and collect more and more petals. And in this level, this is the first level of the 3-level demo we've got, you're turning little patches of brown green again. So you're basically bringing life to this field. That's it. I mean, that's literally it. We've had people coming in to watch us play this, and they've had mixed responses. You know, like, this should be a Wii game, some people have said, and I guess it would certainly work like that, but although it probably wouldn't look as good. The developers of it have said that, that most of the processing power has gone on creating this very ethereal presentation. The blades of grass are individually modelled. It's hard to really appreciate when you're flying at speed through it, but I think it looks pretty good. I mean, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a very stylistic kind of look to it. I mean, it's not heavily realistic, but it looks beautiful, and just the way it feels, and the way you can hear the wind kind of blowing through the grass, and they kind of sway and that. So that's a very relaxing, kind of calming effect on it, doesn't it?
It's more than anything. It's a chill out game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have come in today to look at the game. Like I was saying, have said, what's the challenge? Yourself included. So you can't fail. And no, there's no lives.
There's no puzzle solving, or it's just basically an experience just to explore and have fun, isn't it?
There's previews of it up on GameSpot right now, so if you're interested in it, you can read more about it. There's only 3 levels that we've seen so far, but it's one to keep an eye on, I think.
Definitely, yeah. And especially, it looks like one of those games that will, if nothing else, be one of the most innovative kind of new games of the year, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
Try something different, and it looks like it'll be fun.
New idea, and I'm always a fan of that.
Exactly.
So that's Flower. That's available on the PlayStation Network, hopefully sometime in 2009. So we'll see it later in the year. Alright, so the second game we've got here is Street Fighter 4, which is out on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PC later, I think, but Xbox and PlayStation 3 on the 20th of February.
Yep.
Normal and special editions available from all good retailers. Now, this is more your forte, I think, really. I'm a fan of the Street Fighter series, but I feel like I've gone off the boil skills-wise, but you seem to be pretty good at it.
Yeah, we give a bit of practice in the office, Alex.
Well, actually, we've had this game in for a little while, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
So, I mean, you've had a good chance to play with it.
Yeah, and I played it quite a bit on the arcades as well, when I was over at E3
Sure.
in LA, stuff like that, because it came out in the arcades earlier last year.
And so, what do you think of it? I mean, this build that we've got looks fairly fine.
It's quite solid, yeah. It looks amazing. I mean, for anyone who's kind of kept track of Street Fighter 4 since it's kind of got announced, I think back in 07 maybe.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, it's basically it's very similar to Street Fighter 2 for people that are fans of the old series, but it brings a lot of extra moves to the series. Most of your old favourite kind of characters are back, and there's a bunch of new characters as well. Like this guy I'm fighting at the moment, El Fuerte. He's a Mexican pro kind of luchador wrestler.
Right.
And then there's Crimson Viper, who's an American CIA agent, and a few others as well. But this stage, me and Alex talking about, we're not actually sure where it's from, but it's set in Scotland, but we're not sure whose stage it is. So that leads us to believe that maybe Cammy will actually be in it later on.
Yeah, the British agent, of course.
That's right. Yeah, SAS agent or whatever.
Who's the guy? There's a guy with who's got a really fat belly and it bounces around all the time.
That's Rufus.
Yeah, he's cool. I like him. I mean, he's not great to use, but he's so brilliantly animated.
I can just stand there and just watch his belly.
So it bounces so organically.
It does. It does. Yeah.
So in terms of the way that the game plays, it's very much Street Fighter 2, right?
It is,
I mean,
yeah.
it's 2D. The environments have definitely got depth to them, and I mean, the whole game looks amazing. But it's very much the way that it plays. Street Fighter 2.
Yep. So you've got your basic combos from the original, so you can do your quarter circle fireballs, you can do your dragon punches and things like that. There's also extra moves, like there's focus attacks, so if you hold down the 2 medium buttons, medium punch, medium kick,
If El Fuerte will
like
let you.
that, there we go, it'll create this special move that can't be blocked.
So you can hold on to it and still do it, still be attacked.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the key to it.
Yeah.
And it's quite powerful if you land it. It knocks them down, doesn't it?
It is. You can hold it down as long as you want. If you hold it down until the full effect, basically it pulls off a more powerful move.
Right.
But the risk is that at any point in that time when you're holding them down, they can attack you as well.
Yeah, it's quite a cool thing because you can be getting hit by fireballs or whatever, but you can still unleash this move and land it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a risk, I suppose. And there's the standard sort of super attacks. Once you build up your combo meter up down the bottom of the screen, you can unleash a super like we used to, I think, for most of the Street Fighters, right?
That's right.
So I mean,
Which I'm trying to do.
There you go.
There we
You've
go.
done it.
Managed to
You
pull that.
landed it as well.
It's hard because you've got to hit all 3 punch buttons or all 3 kick buttons with it, depending on your character. And that's obviously a little bit trickier on a
pad.
control pad like this than
Yeah.
your arcade stick. Yeah.
But that's Street Fighter 4, like we say. It's on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 in just over a month now. So we'll kind of bring you more on it. Hopefully, Alex will have a preview by the time you're watching this, so you can read more about it on GameSpot. Alright guys, that's it for another edition of Start Select. We're going to be going weekly in 2009, so join us again next week when we're going to be taking a look at Codemaster's upcoming racing game Fuel, as well as giving away some great prizes. So we'll see you then.